Hello guys, and welcome back to another part of me making a film score generator. I know that I already said that this series is over, but the time has come for me to use this generator again, and I am not about to continue without improving it. What it currently generates could not even be considered music, it is more of just a bunch of random offbeat notes played together. Here is a sample of the last film score I made with it. So as you can tell, it is pretty terrible, but after revisiting the code, I remembered just how much of a headache it was to make it, so I decided that the best option to improve the generation was to actually make it into an AI, because it was currently more of like an algorithm. Basically, I was going to code an AI, then train it for each of the 14 moods of music found in the film score generator. I first thought of something like a reinforcement learning AI, where it starts off by generating random notes, then I would manually select good areas that it generated and make it build off of that. But however, I quickly realized that doing so would end up causing it to generate the same exact song every time. This is because this method of AI is used to find the exact path the computer should take to reach its target. So all this would be good for generating the exact, but best, song. So I then decided to make the AI analyze songs, then find the patterns in the music and store it as a memory which will be strengthened if the same pattern occurs again. At the end, it will replicate these patterns randomly with different probabilities based on the memory strengths. The randomness will ensure that each song it generates is different. I decided to use this approach because I guessed that this was basically what actual AIs use. The first thing I did was revisit MIDI decoding, which I haven't practiced since last time I worked on the film score generator. Though I remembered how to decode MIDI, I still couldn't figure out MuseCore's MIDI encoding. I didn't want to use FL Studio to create the MIDI for the AI to learn, because I have the trial version and I didn't want to close my one to buckle my shoe funk remix. So I decided to completely rely on the JSON MIDI visualizers to decode the MIDI. Though it inflated the file size by like 30x, it would still only be like 300 kilobytes per song. So then, I made a much easier MIDI decoder in a couple of hours. At the end, it would create two lists, one for each unique time a note is played, and one for the notes and which time they correspond to. It will eventually also create a chord progression list, but currently, I am too lazy to code a chord progression finder, so I just manually put them in. After this, it would go to the AI learner. The AI will then recognize three different patterns: the chord progressions, the notes, and the rhythms. For the chord progressions, it adds a memory for each pair of chords. For the notes, it adds a memory for each pair of note chords, containing information on their location in the melody contour, their pitch relative to the current chord progressions scale, and the chord before it. For the rhythms, it adds a memory for the rhythms inside of each beat, which also contains information on the beat's location. The only problem with this is that there will be notes longer than a beat that will be counted in multiple memories, but I am too lazy to fix it right now. I have only started this project 3 days ago. All memories also contain their memory strength, their time since strength and a string to identify them, and the instruments the memory will be for. At the end of each song the AI processes the memories that haven't been updated more than once will be weakened, with rhythms weakening the most and notes weakening the least. Finally, it will take these memories and make them into a song. First, the AI will generate the chord progressions. It will take the first chord from one of the training songs, then it will generate the rest of the chords based on all the chord pairs it remembered. Both the note and rhythm generations start by sorting the memories by their location, then adding only the ones of the current instrument they are generating to a new list. Then, for each beat of the melody contour, they will generate based on a random memory that has the same beat location. Except for the note generation, it also considers which note, chord came before it, and yeah, though this code may sound convincing, it is still full of bugs, and the music it generates still sounds like a bunch of random notes. Here is an example. Hopefully by next time I update, it will sound better. See you then, bye.